17th, 2025, and I'm over here at the Harper campus subbing today. And so this was one of those jobs that I called the district office this morning for because there were no sub jobs available, so they placed me here as an instructional aide, and so I was an aide to one of the students. Now this campus, Harper campus, is for moderate and severe disabilities, so this is an adult transition program, so there's a lot of students with autism or Down syndrome, and it's, in my opinion, a wonderful program teaching life skills and giving them opportunities, and they go travel around to neat places. So today I was just helping out one student primarily. We started out in the classroom and the students were doing like job research, and then they were in here learning how to bake and making cookies and using the molds, so that was very festive. After that was lunchtime, and then I was helping the student with basketball, so she was shooting hoops, but in one of those like portable basketball goals, and then they went back into the classroom to do their scrapbooks and watch CNN in 10. So overall it was a great day, and this is the second time I was subbing over at Harper. And I actually know a couple to work there. One used to teach special ed at Ensign, and another one used to be at Harborview. So, small world. I've been to Harper a couple times before, once in 2018, voting in the midterms, and then another time in 2007, where my mother and I helped out my former preschool teacher make gingerbread houses. And peculiarly enough, I actually remember 20 years ago today, I was in 5th grade at the school behind me, Newport Heights Elementary, so I thought if I worked here of all days, that'd be special. A little background, I used to go crazy with blimps as a boy. I mean, that was one of my special interests as an autistic. And I mean, I was deemed a blimpologist because I couldn't stop talking about blimps. Well, as you probably guessed it, I saw a blimp on the stage 20 years ago. It was the MeriQuest, the one with the many shapes and colors. And very long story short, that was just the first of many. Later on in the afternoon, we went back to Newport Heights to pick up something. And afterward, there was a senior blimp that used to exist back in the day too. But when I saw the first one, school had just ended, so I remember standing back there with all the students and parents, and we're all looking up and seeing it, turn. It was very huge and spectacular. But that was just the start. The next day I saw a blimp over at Rouse, and then the following Monday, the 21st, I was back here at Newport Heights Elementary, and I saw a Goodyear blimp, and then that Friday I saw a blimp as well. So again, when I was around 5th or 6th grade, I went crazy with blimps. So that was my memory, being a Newport Heights Elementary student 20 years ago at this time. It's November 18th, 2025, and I'm over here at Rea Elementary subbing Special Ed ABA today. And this is a group primarily of 2nd and 3rd graders. So this day is going excellent so far. After the morning routine and breakfast, we did math centers, and so I was in charge of one of the 4 stations, and we were doing a game with dominoes and comparing numbers. For example, 5 is greater than 3. And then after recess, we did social studies, so I read a newspaper about Cesar Chavez. And then after watching a few videos about him, we went out to PE, well, adaptive PE as it's called, so I was helping out as necessary over there too. Right now it's lunchtime, and after lunch, this is going to be like story time and art, so I'm sure that the rest of the day would go well. So I'm thankful to be back here at Rea. There were actually a couple of students, like this morning and at recess, that asked me, hey, aren't you on TV? And I'm like, yes, I was invited to be on the news a few times, talking about autism awareness, acceptance and appreciation and inclusion. And so I was invited to be on ABC 7 Los Angeles 3 times and elsewhere across the world. I'm very appreciative to be able to spread that message that even though you have a disability does not mean that you're weird. It does not mean that you're a lost cause. You still have purpose just the way you are, and that you could still do whatever you set your heart and mind to do, disability or not, as long as it's practical. And I've been fighting for years to spread that message all across Orange County, including here in Newport Mesa Unified School District, and not just the public schools but also the private schools here in Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, like Mariners Christian and Carden Hall and Harbor Day. I'm just waiting to be invited because these are volunteer assemblies, and I know that these have an impact because I receive the testimonials every time. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be in Capistrano Unified School District at John Malcolm Elementary School, and I'll be doing 4 assemblies over there for all the students. I've already spoken to 12,000 students and counting, and again, I do anything to be in every single school in Orange County, including Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, public and private. I know I've said that for the last few teaching updates, and there was one video that I made literally asking for help from citizens in Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, And there's a PTA member at Newport L that saw that, and she reached out to me, and then she sent an email to all the PTA presidents across the Harbor Council PTA, which covers Newport Mesa Unified, and asking them to please consider or reconsider having me volunteer an assembly for the students. And again, I'm putting up these emails and messages that I got proving that I have made a difference to these students. If you're watching and you have connections with the PTA or principals here in Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, please let them know about me and that I'm willing to do this voluntarily at my expense. I've been trying for a few academic years and relied on word of mouth and spoke to PTA presidents, but for a few schools in these cities, it may take more people asking them if I could come and volunteer these assemblies. And prayerfully, they'll take my free offer seriously. And for those of you who actually help, from my heart, I absolutely thank you, because this is going to help the next generation. So I was just out at lunch, and several second graders remembered me from subbing for them last year, and I remember that too. I think it was October 2024 if I remember correctly, but at any rate, they were asking to see tricks, and then a whole bunch of older students came by remembering me and asking if I could juggle for them and show tricks. And then at the end of the day, we took the students over to the gate so that they could be picked up by their families, and then the aides asked me, "So did you have a good day?" And I instantly said, "No, I'm just kidding, I did." And so everyone was respectful, the aides and the students, and they really appreciated my help, they said. And the day's not over for me yet. I still have 2 hours of math tutoring at the library across the street, a 4th grader and a 6th grader. So it's been a very fun-filled and packed day. And again, I know where I'm going to be tomorrow, and I know where I'm going to be Thursday and Friday. It is November 20th, 2025, and I'm back over here at Paularino Elementary, subbing a special ed class for 3rd and 4th graders. Aide was just in here, and she said, "You know what's funny, the last time that you were here, I went home and I talked to my daughter, who goes to Newport Harbor, about the sub today, and the daughter asked, well, what is his name?" And the mom goes, "Matthew Kenslow," and the daughter was like, "Oh my gosh, he's the magic sub." And so I guess she recognized my name because I do sleight of hand tricks, so not real magic as I tell the students, and juggling. So small world. And there's going to be a couple other aides today too. So I just got all set up, and now I have to rush outside because I have duty this morning at the breakfast tables. So today's been a fantastic day so far. I've been working with aides all day, and at one point there were 7 of us helping students. There's just under a dozen students today. I've been helping students in like math, reading, and grammar. At one point an art teacher came in here, so they were doing some artwork. And later they were cutting, gluing, and making turkeys. And that actually took me back 26 years. 26 years around this time I was a 4-year-old at College Park Elementary doing preschool, and I couldn't cut well back then, and I had to cut intricately all these feathers, and I was the last person. I missed the garden expo, whatever, outside, and I never forgot it. But we have pictures of those infamous feathers, and we had a great Thanksgiving right before Thanksgiving Day. And I have a home video of my preschool's Thanksgiving celebration from November 24th, 1999, if anyone's interested. Part of the grammar pages that I was helping a student on dealt with contractions, which took me back to when I was a student here, 1st or 2nd grade, which is when I learned about contractions. And when I was doing duty this morning in the NPR as the students were eating their breakfast, I couldn't help but reflect when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I was a student here, and I sometimes had breakfast in the NPR. I've of course had assemblies in the NPR. I remember them well, and the NPR looks a bit smaller than it did when I was younger. Also, while I was there, I was going around showing card tricks to the students. And in May 2024, I did an assembly in there. And speaking about assemblies, yesterday's 4 assemblies went terrific. I received a lot of compliments. There were about 550 students, and I have a whole YouTube video all about it if anyone's interested in that too. And during downtime, like when the aides had everything covered and I didn't need to help students, or during recess or lunch, I was just refreshing on chemistry because I'm tutoring a student in both Algebra 2 and chemistry. So I got a refresh on what I learned literally 9 and 10 years ago, like periodic trends, Vesper, Lewis dot structure, and all that fun stuff that I used to know frontwards and backwards. And so all day today the clouds were very ominous, just dark and stormy. After lunch we went over to music for about 45 minutes, and they were singing a lot of songs, including songs I grew up with that I learned at this school over 20 years ago, like Your Grand Old Flag, the Dreidel song, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and such. So it's very nostalgic. At the end of the day, the behavioral interventionist and I took a few of the students out to the gate so that they could be picked up. And one of the students, actually a few of the students, came up to me asking to see a card trick. Some of the 6th graders. And I was showing it to them, and by this point all of our students were picked up. And so the behavioral interventionist saw that, and both him and I came back in here, and he endeavored to show me a card trick that he knew, and I showed him a couple of card tricks that I knew. And he was extraordinarily baffled, and I'm thankful that I pulled them off. I haven't done them in a while. And so it's a very nostalgic day today, and I know where I'm going to be tomorrow, which is right back over here in the same classroom. It's November 21st, 2025, and I'm back over here at Paularino doing special ed today. And this was a 3-day assignment that I picked up. The first day was, I believe, a couple months ago in September, if I remember correctly. But at any rate, the next 2 days was yesterday and today. So this is day 3 of 3, and just like yesterday, it's very good. For the most part, we just had APE before lunch, which is adaptive PE by the same teacher that we had at Rea Elementary on Tuesday, so we recognized each other immediately. Just different activities outside. And so I'm sure that the rest of the day would go well. I'm feeling very blessed and thankful for this week. It was all special education this week, and right in the middle was those assemblies for autism awareness, acceptance, and inclusion. And a quick interruption, I'm over here at the OC Public Library, and I was just interviewed for the Santa Ana College newspaper, so I really appreciate that opportunity. And I also got to juggle a bit, so that'll be in the video as well as the article. And the article is going to be about living as an autistic and my public speeches and how I became an advocate to begin with and why I advocate, and you know, all the things that I'm doing in schools, like speaking in assemblies. So remember that disability or not, anyone can do whatever they set to their heart and mind to do, as long as it's practical. And behind the disability, we have a heart and a mind. Thank you for watching.